Hi everyone and welcome back to my Consultant Explorer channel. I'm Charlie and I'm here to help you explore the early career years of management consulting, help you to be successful at it and show you how to make the most of the opportunities that it opens up for you. I spent 8.5 years at Accenture, building the most incredible launchpad for my own career, and now that I'm running my own businesses, I can choose what I work on, whenever and wherever I want to in the world, and that is the kind of freedom that I can help you find in your journey, which starts just as mine did in management consulting. Today I'm in my favourite viewpoint in Lisbon, which is up at the top of the old town in Alfama. We are going to start with the moon and hopefully end with the sun. Firstly, both strategy and business or IT consulting are all types of management consulting. And if that seems a little bit confusing, then don't worry. I have a video that talks through all the different types of consulting. So maybe you can start there. Here's the link. It will give you a deeper sense of the differences. From now on in this video, I'm going to refer to the kinds of business or IT consulting that firms like Accenture or the Big Four do as tech consulting, because generally the consulting projects that they're involved with always involve an element of technology consideration or implementation. And it's easier to say tech consulting than it is to say business or IT consulting every time. So assuming you're comfortable with the differences between strategy consulting and tech consulting already, then in this video I'm going to talk about why you should choose to work in tech consulting. Now clearly I'm biased because I've always worked on the tech side of the fence, but I will let the strategy people speak to the other side. But working in the firms that I've worked in, both Accenture and PA Consulting, who actually do the full spectrum of different types of consulting, I've had exposure which helps me see the advantages of working in tech consulting. I've also got friends who work in strategy, who I've learned a lot from over the years. So this video and what I say in it is based on my own career exposure and experience, and also that of my friends. And based on my experience, I'm absolutely convinced that tech consulting creates more opportunity for people who want to be on the forefront of the greatest changes to our planet in our lifetime. Experience in tech consulting is also a real game changer for anyone who wants to be a CEO of their own startup one day, because every startup needs to involve at least an element of technology to be successful. So here are the top 5 reasons to choose tech consulting over strategy consulting. Number 1, technology is disrupting and will disrupt every industry beyond recognition. So becoming familiar with it, understanding how it's applied to business, and being inside the mechanics of that disruption is how to future-proof your career. In tech consulting, you'll learn to feel much more comfortable with the pace of technological change. Advances that you read about online or hear about in social conversations will make sense to you in entirely new ways, and you'll be working within the centre of important industry initiatives that are related to major news headlines about tech. On top of that, once you learn one technology really well, the frameworks that it teaches you enables you to learn other technologies so much faster. I spent the first few years of my career learning the ins and outs of Salesforce, which meant that for the next few years of my career, I could learn so many other technologies without so much effort at all. I went on to work in B2C digital marketing projects, AI proof of concepts, customer service transformations, commercial product and pricing overhauls, and more. There is a repeatable formula to so much of it, and once you know it, you know it. Number 2, I'm a massive believer in feedback loops, because learning how to get better is the only way to continually improve, and without improvement, we just stagnate. In tech consulting, you have the opportunity to see the outcome of the change that's being made to your client's business, because you make that change. You don't stop after advising them to make it. This means that you get to see what works and what doesn't work. You get to form your own opinions. You get to be an expert with referenceable experience. You have credible information about what your next client should and shouldn't do. And that means that by just year 2 of your career, you can already be an expert in something, with important experience and information for your clients, regardless of whether they're double your age or not. It took me a long time to feel comfortable being told that, but the faster you believe it, the more fulfilled you will feel, and the more valuable you'll be to your client. Number 3, one of the awesome things about tech consulting is the variety of different skills that they require. A typical tech consulting project lifecycle can run from initial vision and business case through requirement capture, technology design and build, test, rollout, training and adoption. I have a video which walks through all of these types of work if you'd like to understand a bit more, as well as other videos which deep dive specifically on roles. It's a very wide variety of skill sets, requiring a lot of different people to be involved. People who are expert at defining business strategy and direction, people who are experts at converting a vision into a set of rules that can be used to design technology systems, people who are expert at designing and building new technology, people who can test new technology, not just for bugs, but also for impacts to other integrated technologies, people who work with the eventual users of the new technology to ensure that they know how to use it and that they get the most value from it. Working with such a variety of skill sets broadens your ability to understand, to communicate, and to manage a real spectrum of people, which gives you a very rounded perspective, credible management experience, and an ability to really get how things work end to end, which makes you an even better leader. And if you want to build your own business one day, then knowing how to pull in and manage such a variety of skill sets is the kind of invaluable experience that usually only senior leaders in other industries are lucky enough to have. Fourth, technology projects by nature use a profitability model which balances the higher costs of what's called onshore resources, often in the US and Western Europe, with the lower costs of what's called offshore resources, often in Eastern Europe and Asia. I have another video on the profitability model and profit and loss if you're interested in knowing more about that. When your team is by default a global team positioned all over the world, then you are in the privileged position to be working with people that you may otherwise never have met. Without any conscious effort at all, you'll learn things about different cultures and religions across the world. You'll understand which festivals are important to which people. You'll all joke about who gets the most public holiday. You'll learn about the work ethic of different nations. You will come to appreciate your own culture and your own values with an outside perspective. I remember in my final interview before Accenture, I was asked how I dealt with situations where language barriers, and in particular accents, made it tough to communicate. It was a real question, and it was something I had to learn to be much better at very quickly when I joined. But learning that was invaluable experience for the multicultural life that I lead now. And opening your mind to global perspectives like that is one of the most fulfilling things that you can do for yourself. And finally, let's call this one the safety net. If you're still undecided about whether you want to work in tech consulting or strategy consulting, then consider this. Tech consulting firms like Accenture actually do strategy too. So you don't even need to make a decision yet. If you want to try both, then you can if you work for a tech consulting firm. So if that's what you want to do, then go ahead, try both. And once you decide that tech consulting is better, you can let me know. So let's recap quickly. The top 5 reasons for choosing to work in tech consulting are: 1, future-proofing your career in a heavily tech-disrupted world. 2, feedback loops from seeing the change, which develops really credible expertise. 3, the spectrum of skills that you will work with and manage. 4, the diversity of your teammates. And 5, the safety net. So hopefully that helps you with your decision, so long as you haven't been too distracted by this beautiful sun coming up. If it's been helpful, then let me know by clicking the like button. And if you'd like to see what I post next, then definitely subscribe to my channel. Social media links are below if you'd like those. And if you have any questions or comments, then feel free to use the comment section here and I'll do my best to answer absolutely everything. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a great day and I wish you all the best with your exploring.